Hey, soul survivors, we have the topic of why do we go back to our abuser? A lot of technical difficulties, had to reboot my computer and everything, but feel free to join in. This is live chat, and if you guys are watching the replay, feel free to let me know if you guys have anything on your mind. But this is a viewer topic request on why do we go back? And that's known as the reverse Hoover. A lot of us get caught in that cycle, and it's pretty painful. We don't want to accept it is. And because of the fact that we've gone in this repeated cycle, it's part of what feels natural, what's going to come next. But sometimes it is a final discard, and it can be quite scary to accept that. Also, we know a lot of times that the narcissist um, will hoover us, and sometimes it's 2, 3 decades later. And, people reach out when they're lonely, but when somebody really loves you, like they miss you. And, you know, the narcissist, a lot of times, that they'll take their time getting back. They think that they'll just let the dust settle so they don't have to acknowledge what happened. And they also feel grandiose sometimes. But there comes a time when the narcissist does move on, and that is when things start getting a little too heated, too real, too dysfunctional. And we do have that reactive abuse. A lot of it is where it kind of turns negative, and it's no fault of your own. The narcissist sets the stage for negativity. We're trying to get out of it, but they feel it and they get stuck in it. And um, because of the way that their childhood was, they don't feel that people are going to stick around or truly love them. They also have like low self-esteem to where they feel that they're just going to be abandoned anyways. It's kind of where they beat us to the punch, so they don't necessarily have to feel abandoned. Right now, if you were the one that was discarded, as opposed to leaving, that's kind of an even double whammy. It's not just the end of a relationship, but it's feeling abandoned. And I know you can pick that apart where you feel abandoned, where they took the love away. And I see somebody's here. Oh, I gotta do this. I gotta put it on live chat. There. Hi, Mia. Good to have you in chat. How's it going? We're talking about the reverse Hoover and why do we go back sometimes. I got a couple videos I got to catch up for you guys. We had a fundraiser for a child that has cancer. He is not doing good. So there's a couple elementaries, 4 elementary schools in my district. So I went to the little carnival to kind of help support him. He's got brain cancer, and hour by hour, they could see it growing hour by hour. So it's extremely aggressive. They took as much as they could out of his brain, and I think he's still in a coma. So, but you say was that helpful? Good, good. Yeah, and that's for people watching. I don't mind making specific videos for you guys, and because it's going to help somebody out there, and it'll help you and also other viewers. And what's nice about YouTube is they can stay online forever. So, in the year 3033, I'll still be helping people. So you are definitely welcome. I know it's hard, and there are times that it gets really devastating. I got a lot of exciting podcasts coming up that it's really hitting home. Just what was it? Yesterday, I heard another. I told you guys last. Um, wait, what's today? Uh, um, Last time I did a video, I talked about another friend, kind of removed friend, but she was murdered. They're looking for another person. I know I've traveled a lot, so I know a lot of people. I've traveled across country, but post after post, I got a professional MMA fighter. We're going to talk about the CTE, the concussion trauma. That's what they think that I believe it was a bank robber. I was talking to my MMA fighter, Joel Chapman, and I was like, "Oh, I'm getting the stories mixed up." He was a bank shooter, and they're checking his brain after he's now gone to see if it has something to do with the concussions that cause this mental illness in him. And the thing is mental illness, a lot of it is just problems with the brain. Our brain and our health go hand in hand. But I'm glad I was able to help you. And hopefully John will join us. I don't know. His phone's working. So hopefully, I meant to give you guys a post. I was running so late. So, and then I had to reboot my computer. I highlighted my hair and it's still wet, so that took longer than expected. But how's your week going, Mia? Because I've noticed more and more over the past 2, 3 years. It could have something to do with COVID, but a lot of people are really, really struggling. So I do have a channel that I'm building based on healthy relationships, how to get the love that you deserve. And this one's dealing with the pain and trauma and understanding narcissism. But the reverse Hoover, that is when when our self-esteem is low, that we feel it's okay. We'd rather um, be abused than move on, because moving on can be scary. And I did a video where we're kind of addicted to our story. You hear that it might be Monday. It might be Monday. Yes, Michigan may get snow on Monday. It's supposed to be 40 degrees on Sunday, and I'm okay if Monday, just Monday or Tuesday too. But where I have a snow day, we'll see. It's supposed to be sleet, so that's crazy. April 14th. I know the weather here is I know it's still snow. I'm wearing a tank top. I don't think you can really see it. I don't know. I got a little bit of a burn today. I took the kids out for art. I let them sit outside, and I didn't get that much sun, but it was hot. It was hot and sweaty today. So, yeah, it changes in an instant in Michigan. Just like your relationship with a narcissist, you never know what you're going to get. It's a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. But I'm really delving in to the brain portion and also the communication portion of how all this gets so toxic. And it's interesting with this, like a lot of the I hope when you guys are a little bit better that you do either utilize both channels. I've been sharing just a smidge of the relationship one kind of mixed in with this one, but that sometimes even good meaning things, where we try to do something for the other person with good intentions, but we start thinking through for them on how it's going to come, because we don't want to put the uncomfortableness on them. So we start making decisions that are one-sided, and it's kind of a withdrawal, and how to make that healthier. If we have better self-esteem, and it gets so tricky when two people have some issues. And once we start getting that CPTSD, we kind of have issues too. And the communication almost becomes unbearable because of the lack of dopamine, because of the lack of predictability and consistency, that we're walking on eggshells. And when we walk on eggshells, we're doing that so we don't have a negative outcome. But unfortunately, when we do that, it will fail. It will be taken the wrong way. Whether it's seen as manipulation or patronizing. And that's why when we're ready to move on, that if we can build up our vibrations, that our words are going to come out so different, and we're not going to be like, well, what do I say, and I don't want to avoid problems. It just lets you live in the moment of the relationship, where it's free flowing conversation, and it's going to take an adjustment. We're going to be a little uncomfortable because we're used to the trauma now. And the narcissist either went through extreme feelings of grandiosity. Their ego was pumped up by their parents so much, and sometimes too that's like sometimes it is genuinely these parents are trying to do the best that they can. They were like, "Sweetie, you're gonna rock it tonight. You're the best basketball player out there." And once reality hits, that it's a big shock to them, and they can go through a lot of depression over that. I've seen a lot of, like the jocks and the cheerleaders, and when they get out in real life, it's amazing how many of them have gained quite a bit of weight. I don't know if it's they're not exercising as much as they did, but I wonder too if it's kind of they're not top dog anymore, and it could be depression eating. It's just something I've noticed. Maybe they party more and it's alcohol, but um, I'm really looking at all different angles of this because a lot of ADHD stuff has quite a few things in common with narcissism, and like Asperger's or um, you know, uh, can be confused a lot of times on what the intention is. Sometimes people just they express things the wrong way, or they don't know how to express what they're feeling, or they're too scared to. So, Mia, where are you right now as far as are you wanting a Hoover or Calibri is here? And if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. But Calibri says hello to all and hello to you, Cynthia. I gotta show you something, Calibri. Let me see. Hold on. I don't want to knock my computer over. I've already had enough. Look what I got for you, Calibri. We have the real deal. Check that out. Aren't those beautiful? So that's for you, Calibri. I got you some flowers too. And they're pink, just like you did. Um, so Mia says, hello, K Flyer. Happy Friday. You're welcome. Aren't they beautiful? And they're pink. So um, we'll see if they stay alive. And Calibri is saying hi to Mia. So we're talking about the reverse Hoover, and narcissists do like to Hoover. And aren't those beautiful? These are kind of cool. They're kind of frayed on the edges. I've never seen frayed. I don't think my camera will pick it up, but they got little hairs on the end. It's kind of neat, and they're starting to bloom open. And that's the thing. I'll tell you what, with how the weather in Michigan was absolutely gorgeous. It was like the perfect summer day. If the beach was open, I would have gone to like swimming, but I know it's probably the water's still cold. Perfect beach day. Um, and I've noticed like the last couple days, I've actually felt more alive. I felt better. I'm starting to release some of my trauma is starting to come out. You guys are helping me. Hopefully, I'm helping you. But it's just a different perspective. But the vitamin D and how I went to that carnival. Calibi, I went to a carnival for a child with cancer, but getting out there and just saying hi to people, talk to a couple people I didn't know, talk to some people I did, and it was just nice to be a part of something, to show your support. And I just feel really alive today. So Calibi says, so update on the male narc where you are. You said you heard from another gardener that the narc is going to have a hip replacement. Well, he kicked that garden bench when he raged at me. You did, I think you mentioned that. Um, wow. Huh. And what's interesting too is if you hurt his foot, that can throw your knee out, and then your hip will go out, and then your back, and then your neck. But I wonder if that has something to do with it. How old is he? A sign that his limping didn't go away. Yeah. Yep. Sorry about your luck. Um, yeah, when people rage, I mean, they got those boxer punches, cracks in their people punching walls. He's in his 70s. And yeah, I'll probably I'll probably need that too. I'm not in my 70s, but I'm dreading that. I need like every joint and from hips, knees, and ankles redone. But yeah. um my goodness. And that's the thing, that's like a childlike thing. I did that in high school. I was usually a pretty good kid, but my parents were so strict, and I fell in love with my daughter's dad. And I did kick I kicked the wall one time. 17, because it was like my parents were so strict, like so strict. And so I shouldn't have done that. And then my dad fixed it. And I just meant to be like, oh, it's just a little, not really like the full on kick right in the same spot. That was not smart. you know, it's a coping mechanism trying to control our lives. And sometimes you little instances like that, we're like, yeah, I get it. Sometimes we lose our cool. But as adults, like I haven't kicked a wall as an adult. Um, you should grow out of that. And we have a little more control over our lives than we did as a teenager, you know. But sometimes too, we revert back to just wanting certain things touch our childhood, they come out, certain things trigger us. So yeah, karma. You're gonna use that like that way. So, and it's interesting too, the things that do come back as karma. I haven't quite figured out if I believe in karma, but I believe in that butterfly effect where one little thing happens and it just trickles down, you know. I talk about that hurricane video where that one little grain of sand just travels, catches up in the wind, and just perpetuates and turns into that snowball effect that, like if I didn't have coffee with you today, so now you do this, and that's going to affect that person's circle, and that's going to branch out and branch out. So, Alicia, good to have you here. Yep, I got it. I remembered. Good to have you here, Alicia. Yay. So, we're talking about the reverse Hoover. Alicia, I don't know your story. Have you suffered some trauma, or are things pretty cool? There's a lot of trauma out there. A lot of us have gone through things, whether it's narcissistic or abuse. You guys know I'm a burn victim. There's different things that we go through that we had to deal with. John is having problems with his cell phone again. Well, thank you for letting me know. Hopefully, he can join us again soon. I'm sure he's looking forward to it. And Mia says hello to Melissa. And there's Melissa. Good to have you here. Melissa, I had a Melissa reply right before you did it. I was like, wait a minute, that's her last name. So, Melissa, I do want to make some videos for you. I won't have time tonight. I'm going to try tomorrow, but definitely by Sunday, I have a special video for you that I need to make. Kalibi says a new psychologist, yes, you brought Dr. Ettenshone, has a, right, Shon if it's Shan, or Shown if it's shown, even though it's spelled different, just so I know how to say it. Ettenshone has a different perspective. Yeah, I wanted to know. He inserts the idea of narcs being mental cases. So he claims that narcs don't know what they are doing. Yes and no. Yes and no. Kinda not. There are times they will purposely do it. Other times they honestly don't. They honestly have no clue. Depends on how severe they are. But I guarantee there are times they know, and there's other times that they have no clue. And I can kind of explain it with my narcissistic neighbor. There are times that you put up the boundary, I'm not going to have sex with you. So they try everything in the book, and they try to get sneaky, and they grab you and do things they're not supposed to, even though some of it is a different kind of perception. Because I know he was like, well, you and I are cool that way. And I'm like, no, we're not. Like, don't grab my crotch. Like, we're not cool that way. I told you not to. But they'll purposely, do you want to have some wine? Do you want, they're trying to get me drunk. I know how to handle myself, and it's like, no, but they're trying everything in the book to get what they want. But other times we've had some heart to heart conversations. They have no clue. They have no clue. And certain things that he does, I'm like, that's hurting your son. That's wrong. Don't do that. Like, he thinks it's funny to pants his kid. And I'm like, "That's gonna mess them up." And I said, especially in front of me, not that they should do it, but if it's, in the house, being silly, but, I'm kind of a stranger. Like the kid loves me, he hugs me, but I'm still a stranger, even though he likes me, the kid. Um, he likes me, but I'm still a stranger. And plus I'm female. And I'm like, you're gonna mess him up. And he's setting a boundary, and he's like, it's my kid. I can do what I want. He's fine. And he honestly has no clue, no matter what angles you say. Um, but another thing that was interesting, sorry about my throat. Kindergarten today. Um, but oh gosh, I just lost my thought. The kindergarten was running through my head about my day. Um, oh gosh, it was about my do do do. I don't know. It'll come to me. You guys know that. It always does. So I have been a lot crap since childhood. Been harassed and threatened for your life. You were harassed for 18 months with downstairs neighbor. And that's kind of like Calibri's going through the neighbor stuff. The housing authority evicted him on January 25th, 2023. Do you live in the same complex as John? Because there's a lot of stuff it sounds like was going on there. So my goodness, I know some of your story then. So yeah, so Alicia says, yeah, that's where she lives. You guys have a lot of stuff. At least are kind of taking care of some of it. And Melissa says, we got our fishing license early today. We are going fishing tomorrow morning. Ooh, good luck. Um, do you know what you're fishing for? What kind of fish? Um, that's cool. And Kalibi says, wow. ET, Alicia, must have been a malignant narc. Yeah. Yeah, there's all different kinds of narcs. That's why it gets really crazy. Mia's wishing you a fantastic fishing trip. And uh, so it's public housing. Yeah, sometimes financial stresses can lead people down a different path, or sometimes people end up in financial situations because of life choices. But um, people try to self-medicate sometimes too. So uh, when there's higher stress, a lot of times, regardless of where it's coming from, but there's higher stress, you're going to have more drinking, more alcohol, drinking alcohol, and doing drugs. We just had in Michigan, uh, uh, this area, I don't know, about a half hour from me, they had 2 murders, and it's just one city. It's a large city. Maybe half of Chicago, a third of Chicago. I don't even know if it's that big. Third of Chicago, something like that. Um, but there's 2 murders, and then also 5 deaths from fentanyl overdoses, and 8 or 9 um, hospitalizations, but near deaths. But there was, on average in that area, it's 1.5 people, but there was 5 people in one day, and they had a large bust of fentanyl. And um it increases the high and it makes it cheaper, I guess, but it's like people know what they're putting into those drugs. They know how deadly, like if you just touch fentanyl, it can cause you to die. And people are still putting it in there because they're trying to get people addicted. So, as far as does a narcissist know, that guy, does he only think that that's all it is? Is that you said they do or don't? You said they don't know from that guy. And I'm going to pronounce it Shon unless you spell it Shon, no E. Um, Enshon. Maybe it is Enshon. Enshon. I don't know. um, Steelhead, rainbow trout. All right, there you go. And what about tuna casserole? Kalibi says, that's the only fish I like is tuna casserole. From camp. It has to be from camp. I think that's, I don't even know if I like it. I think it's just by the end of the day, you're so hungry and that's all they served you. Kalibi says, and beware of board officers in a condo. More likely they are narcs. They love to control. A lot of times too, people in upper management do have some narcissistic traits, and in a sense, it's, you know, an effective tactic sometimes, but, you gotta be careful, on how that's handled. I'm very lucky for the, principal that I have. Um, Mia says, "You are very welcome." Melissa, I hope you catch some good big rainbow trout and perch too. I'm not a big fish eater, like I said, but is perch the best tasting out of that? I don't know. I'm guessing. Uh, Alicia says he blasted his stereo day and night and slammed doors. Yes. That's what John was saying with the slamming doors, leaving stuff open, stereos on, and he probably left it on even when he wasn't there, is my guess. Melissa is here and saying hi to everybody, asking how you guys are doing. Feel free to let her know and all of us. Um, Al- Alicia says the guy is 59 and acts like a 9-year-old. And that's the thing. Like they talk about narcissists or, sometimes even just different mental illnesses that you get stuck. You don't progress through a certain stage. So he probably, that's where his emotional stability is, and some narcissists are legit like 2-year olds. Some can be like 12-year olds. It depends on their development in their brain. And you say, oh, he did. Yeah. Left it on the radio night and day. That's gotta drive you crazy. That's the one thing is I just wanna sleep. Like, I'm so easygoing, like, I don't care, blast your stuff, but if I need to go to bed, I need to go to bed. Beer drinking, weed, and cigarettes, yeah, and that's the thing, they're looking for something. Um, you know, whether it's to be cool, you start your first cigarette because you wanna be cool and, all that kinda stuff too. Sometimes it's to look cool, sometimes it's to escape, sometimes it's because you don't, feel comfortable saying no. Also, if you're hanging around people who are like a narcissist hanging around other narcissists, and you're like, "No, man, I don't want it. Yeah, I'm good on the joint," or "I'm not having a beer tonight." They'll still push you. And I know things are changing with marijuana now, with medicinal, but back then it was illegal when a lot of people started, and so he's gone. That's good. He calls women bitches. Yeah. And that's, yeah, sometimes that's so nice. Yeah, watch how people and I don't like the old ball and chain. There are some things that are just disrespectful. I noticed I was watching CNN, even though I'm conservative, but you guys, because I say CNN, it's like people put labels on you. But how they were talking about the cancel culture and all the different words that we are canceling. And, some people don't realize what hurts other people's feelings. But bitch, that's kind of no brainer. He does not like certain things. What do you mean he doesn't like certain things? Kalibi says, remember that narcs have not grown. They are stuck being toddlers to teenagers. That's true. It's very true. Okay. I had a feeling that's what you were talking about. We have some people in this channel that are a part of that community. And, you know, um, the way I see it, whether you agree with it or not, I'm not the one to judge. And, but yeah, there's, and so you're a part of the LGBTQ, is what you say? And a lot more people are coming out. You okay, you're trans? Okay. Um, and have you had I wanted to touch base on that. I started to because I'm trying to understand it. I'm heterosexual. I did mention and 64. Um, but I my friend's daughter, the Gabby Lomo, I've done 2 interviews with her. Um, and she, she's the one I did the beautiful breakup on, where she broke up with her girlfriend. Her girlfriend came from a pastor and went back, like how to she's searching for herself to see like how religion ties in with it. But as far as a genetic component, because I started realizing a couple things that kind of stood out on birth order and genetics, things like that. So, can I ask you, Alicia, what birth order you are? Um, and were you born male? And did you have a, uh, yeah, because I'll tell you my theory. um, and anything that's not easy to talk about. 1988 to 2000 is what? What was it? Are the I don't know what that means. Kalibi says the narcs are opposed to LGBTQ people like us. Also, they are racist. Yeah, support. Oh, okay. You went to a support group for that. Okay. Um, Oh, you ran. I'm sorry. That's why I didn't get it because I missed a whole line that you wrote. It says I ran a trans support group for 11 years. Okay. Sorry. I missed that whole line. That's why I didn't understand. Narcs don't have any common sense. And they mirror. They will mirror. And if they don't like the mirror, then they're not gonna look in it. Just like when you go to the fun house, if you get your identity from the fun house and it's all distorted from what you want to look like, that's not your favorite mirror, you know and so they run from that mirror, so they don't have any common sense. And some people, you see it with politics. They want to believe what they want to believe, and there's no two ways. Narcissists will split. They see people as either all good or all bad. Um, so Alicia says, I help work on the hate crimes law that passed in New York back in 2000. Yeah, the hate crimes, whether it's against race, like even just during COVID, how people were attacking Asians that weren't even Chinese. And I have some beautiful Chinese friends. It's so funny, right? I got a text from my Chinese friend. She's over in Xiamen, China. I don't know what she had to say, but yeah, the abuse that was going on to them, and they're not that we should attack Chinese, but they weren't even Chinese and they're being attacked just because of their hair and skin color. Uh, so thank you for working on that. Yeah, there's too much hate, and we're struggling to become individuals, but we're also segregating ourselves in doing that. Um, and it is, yeah, everybody gets attacked. Sometimes it's the elderly or, you know, um, I'm seeing a transition that I'm not liking in this world. And like I started saying earlier, how over the past 2, 3 years, we're getting a lot more people with mental illness. I was supposed to do a podcast with a girl on ketamine because I interviewed my nephew who is getting his doctorate in psychedelics. And I don't know if I want to go there and even endorse it, but I want to learn about it. And she had some suicidal thoughts. She starts hearing sounds. Now she had this horrible uh, thing where she was hearing voices to kill herself. And so she's in a psychiatric hospital. It felt so real to her that I didn't get a chance to do the podcast because she is in rehabilitation right now. So hopefully she does okay. But the triggers and things that go on in the mind are fascinating. And what can we heal? What can't we heal? We can heal from this trauma of being with a narcissist. But the thing with you guys in the LGBTQ, it probably feels better being able to come out and tell people, but there's still, I'm sure, a lot of trauma you guys go through from just being judged, and that's not up to me to judge you guys whether I agree with it or not, because what you guys do, it doesn't affect me. Um, So why do I have to change your life if it's not affecting me? Um, I'm catching up. So everyone gets attacked. Kalibi says, note that these narcs are mental cases. It's best to avoid them or keep a good, safe distance. Yeah. I don't know what's going. Maybe it's because highlighted my hair, all those chemicals in my throat. Um, but yeah, there's. I mean, you run into people that are narcissists that you don't always know are narcissists. Um, it just depends. Are they having a good day? Are they having a bad day? But yeah, the deeper you get in with them, that's when you're going to get attacked or emotionally abused. So Mia says, nor Melissa, no, Melissa, they sure don't, nor do they understand common sense. Yeah, Mia saying, I agree. They don't understand it. Yeah, and it's almost, well, a lot of times it's unteachable. And even though I'm not sure if this one, I just set up, I'll give you two. So you can be my test on my new email. I just bought a new email, a domain. Okay, so Gabrielle's costumes at gmail.com is my main one. And then the other one is Cynthia at a soulsurvivor.com. So hopefully that'll be easier for you guys to remember. And but I haven't set that up to check. I think I set it up, but I haven't double checked it. It's got the password and all that stuff. So maybe copy me on both emails. Um, so I'd like to hear more. Yeah. Kalibi says having the knowledge on identifying who and what they are is a very good tool to protect ourselves from further emotional abuse. You're right. And Mia, was it you? Who was it? Was it? Oh, it was Debbie. Debbie wanted to talk about the uh, the reverse Hoover. So when she comes in, we'll focus a little bit more on that. But um, this world is not wanting uh to compromise. Everybody's all about their own opinions. Everybody's starting to get, whether it's reactive abuse, it's just ongoing. It's almost like there's no downtime. And even, with reactive abuse, we do still hurt the other person. And it just fuels the fire and we're not squashing it. And then people will overcompensate. And the world is screwy, and how do we fix it? You got all these wars and traumas and fear, and they got AI coming out now too. So there's probably going to be a lot more manipulation. I wonder. Lily is here. Hi, Lily. We're having a fantastic discussion tonight. How have you been? Have you been? Hopefully, Dog Defender. She's been contacting me. Hopefully, she'll join us too. But look at, oh, I love you. So Mia is saying hello. Kalibi says, sadly, I saw the new supply today. She is being groomed by the female narc. I could tell, is currently in a narc fog. She claims the female narc is such a wonderful person. And we didn't start. Alicia says, we didn't start the fire by Billy Joel. That's true. um, so Lily says, good. Hope everyone is well. Yeah, so we hope you're doing good too. But yeah, that's the thing is they do come across nice. They know how to play nice, you know, just like the playground bully. You let them play with you, they're going to enjoy it until they want to either change the game or change the rules, or if they're losing, that's when they're going to act out. So it's no different. They know how to act. But when I see these kids go through their trauma, because I'm seeing the different stages, that the way that they act out, the screaming, today was a rough day. The running around, no eye contact, the silent treatment, the lying, and some of them are getting better about the lying because they are still developing. They're getting better, but shows you the different stages. They say people don't really get empathy until around age 3, and so if there was major trauma before that age, they're not going to have empathy. Um, so once the narc got ya, then they will go for the jugular. Just watch. Yep, the jugular right there. Um, and it can be slow though. It can be slow. And sometimes it is just you know, how they tear us apart. They don't always know. Just like right now, I could go grab my purse and just leave because I'm thinking I want to go get a sandwich. And I just they're chatting. I'll just get up. That it goes through their mind like, whoa, you're in the middle of something like a relationship. And they'll just, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And they don't feel like, why do I need to apologize? You guys were chatting away. You were talking between yourselves. You didn't say Cynthia. So they feel justified in whatever it is they want to do. And if they can see that they weren't justified, they'll make something up. Oh, I thought uh, you've been bullied since 5th grade. That's got to be hard. That's definitely got to be hard. And, um, it can have lifelong effects on us. And I wish you didn't have to go through it. I see it in the schools. We try really hard to squash that, but sometimes kids just, you know, really are cruel. Melissa says, I like the song We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel. Yeah, he's had some good ones. Calibri says a female narc has mastered the passive aggressive line of speech. She is masterful in putting down people. Yeah, you can be passive aggressive. Some of them will be full on aggression, but others, you're like, did that just happen? Even just the glares and and it makes you feel uncomfortable. And Melissa says narcissists can cause soul loss. And they can. They can. And it can be so devastating. That's why sometimes people, please don't do this, but they want to, I don't like the term. I think we're supposed to say unalive. Um, but, people get that tormented with their thoughts. And we need to change that. And there are ways to do that. I have several videos on that. Kalibi says, and I've seen that narc stare on her. And yeah, they'll have that dark stare. Sometimes it's a vacant stare too. Have you guys ever seen the vacant stare? But yeah, when they go into a rage, sometimes their pupils will dilate. A lot of it has to do with the adrenaline that's going on. I have a scientific video on it. Some people feel it's demonic, but there is also scientific evidence. It's the dead eye stare. Okay. Yeah. And sometimes you just look and you're like, it looks like they checked out. It's weird. Um, like how does that happen? You just look in somebody's eyes and they do say the eyes are the window to the soul. And I've seen that blank stare. And uh Alicia says, I lost 23 pounds because of the downstairs neighbor. Oh, that's quite a bit because of stress from a neighbor. It wasn't like the loss of a loved one. That's not good, Alicia. Stress, anxiety, yeah, probably lack of sleep too. Um, we burn, it's interesting, what is it, 50 calories when we sleep? 50 or 60, if up to 8 hours, but after that, like, it's interesting on, you burn more calories asleep. I don't even know. I read it before, but then resting, I think. I think it's just I don't know, can't remember, but it was interesting. I enjoyed it. It wasn't interesting enough to put into permanent memory. Um, but yeah, I've started doing a health journey too that I'm expanding out. I've been feeling a lot better. getting rid of toxins and water weight, and having the right balance of probiotics and vitamins. And um, it got so bad you spent 4 days in a hospital. Wow. Um, yeah, and Kalibri's saying, yeah, but luckily this person's gone now. So um, hopefully you'll get back on track, take care of your health. And um, sometimes it is hard to eat, or just our hearts are pumping differently and we're using up more energy sometimes. And we get in that fight or flight, a lot of adrenaline going through us. And, you know, um, sometimes we're in certain situations that we feel we can't leave, and it gets scary. Plus, you just moved into a new apartment. So now you're in a new apartment than the one you were before? Yeah, there's times it's like, "Just get me out of here." Cool, okay. And yeah, and sometimes a fresh start helps, but it also doesn't take away the trauma that we had. I went down, moved to Florida, the trauma's still there. There's still stuff we have to work through. And a one bedroom on the first floor. Good for you. Got your own place. First floor is nice. Hopefully you don't have noisy neighbors upstairs. And I used to be an apartment complex manager. Got my own apartment on the first floor. It's kind of nice. Um, but that was an interesting thing too. Um, I never thought I would have taken that job. Uh, and only one neighbor upstairs. Well, that's not bad. That's pretty good. And but in our healing process, I know a lot of you. I did a poll, are saying that I'm nowhere near healed, and I appreciate your honesty on that. Because there's times that we want to give up, or times we don't know what to do, that we give up on ourselves. And this is where the self-love comes in. We do need extra rest, but on the foods that you eat, you know, don't go down that screw it, whatever, stuff your face with whatever. Still practice mindfulness. And you say, after putting up with that creep, I deserve this apartment. Good. I'm glad you have it. That is a nice, yeah, it gets rid of some of the stressors, some of the reminders, and, your reward. You made it through. You are a survivor. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, sometimes these can be blessings in disguise. And it is meant, a lot of times for us to learn a lesson. But sometimes too, like Alicia, you might have a wonderful whole set of neighbors now that you would have never connected with if you weren't in that situation. Life takes twists and turns. And did they arrest him? Is he prosecuted for that, or was he just evicted? I think he was just evicted. And Kalibi says, my faith in my creator keeps me centered. And I feel that it's a continuous journey in learning about narcissism. Yeah, it is I believe, did you say you were Muslim? Is that correct? Uh, and then I'm Christian, but, I wanted to do something too on, um, he has 3 gun charges against him. Oh my gosh. Wow. Um, I don't, he had 3 handguns. I know at first, John thought that, it was like, he was held up. At first he thought it was a, hostage situation. But, with the mental illness, that gets scary with the gun laws. Um, because that shooting, and I'm not saying I'm against, bearing arms, but that one mother, it was interesting, on the bank robber. Was he 21 or 23 years old, who in Louisville, shot 2 cops and killed 5 people. Wait, hold on, I get 'em mixed. Yeah, wait, there's yeah, okay. The meeting was at a bank. That's why I keep getting the guy worked at the bank. That's why I'm like, I keep saying bank robbery, but it wasn't a bank robbery. It was at a bank. But he worked there. But she was saying, please don't harm him. He's a good kid. He'd never do anything like this. He did it. Um, and he wanted to kill himself. I do want to do more insight on this because I have a couple podcasts with Joel Chapman, who is a pro MMA fighter. Now, this guy had brain injuries from high school football, several concussions, and they're doing a posthumous um, autopsy on his brain to see if that has something to do with it. And I asked Joel, the MMA fighter, about the injuries that are happening in fighting, and I came across I've been seeing a lot of deaths. I told you guys that I've had several people recently that I know. I got another one yesterday, people that are dying, and I had this one young guy, and I'm like, do I know him? I don't think I do, but is he somebody's, boyfriend, husband, lover, whatever? So I went to look up his name, and I came across a different name, when you do those Google searches, and it was about in Nashville, this MMA fighter killed his girlfriend, and um, it gets scary of people killing people that they supposedly love and killing themselves. People really hurt. And that's why I had mentioned, as far as seeking revenge, be careful on that because, the narcissists are hurting in their own way too. That, if we trigger them more, all hell can break loose. Um, then we become more of a target instead of eventually having them let go. That's why uh, acknowledge it, let them know you're done with them, but when you go after them, they're gonna come back harder. So tomorrow, I got to tell you what I'm doing tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going out of state, 2 hours away, not too far. But it's for a birthday party. We're going bowling and then out to dinner. So I don't know what time I'm going to be back. It might be 10 p.m. I don't know if you guys are up for 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the saddest thing is, though, is that people will take others down when they're sad. And not that people should kill themselves, but um, he he took people down with them, you know, that didn't deserve it. So yes, I will. I will definitely drive safe, and it should be nice celebrating my friend's birthday. We reconnected after several years. She's one of like a good friend. And sometimes when we're caught up in these narcissistic relationships, um, we forget about our friends. So we were both going through a lot. So it's really nice to have her reconnect with me. And you have local phone numbers to call if I need them. And that's good. That's good. Yeah, there's really good support groups and hot and cold lines. Tell me what you mean by hot and cold lines. I don't know if you're talking about emotionally or recorded, not recorded. I'm not sure what the way you said it. I'm not sure what you mean by hot and cold. Um, Kalibi says, good. True friends are hard to find. And we have so much fun. We go roller skating, and is that what a term is? Hot and cold line? Is that what that means? Or depression? Okay. And are they helping you? Are you able to see a counselor, or um, when we start having suicidal thoughts, that it's something to really take seriously, that hotlines are for emergencies. That okay, okay. Yeah, and that's good. Keep them with you and use them when you need to. And it is okay, if you check yourself in. Sometimes that can help. I told you my friend, well, I know her, but she checked herself in. I was going to do that podcast with her. And she's like, we both agreed it's not safe for me to be alone right now. And she had a lot of stuff going for her. And she, you know, uh, took a break from it because if you don't, then those things aren't going to be there anyways. Okay. How often do you use cold lines? There's also NAMI. If it's a free service, please share that. If it's a free service, that can help people who are watching. And yeah, you're in the States. One is our country code once a month. And, there are support groups out there. And it's called NYS, New York Suicide. Is that what that means? Um, but does that mean New York State? I've never seen NYS. Um, so naive. um, okay, New York State. I'm not, it's weird. I've never seen it written that way. And yeah, I've seen NYC. I've seen NYC for the city, but I've never seen it with the S. I've only seen New York, and we're always like the city. Okay, I put two and two together. Okay. So sheltered. Didn't I tell you I was sheltered? Even if you space it out. Yeah, NYS. Okay. Um, so yeah, definitely 988 is the free suicide hotline. And it's really nice that they changed it into a three-digit code instead of a long 800 number. So 988. And, there are times that, you know, either our friends will not give the right advice. Um, and yes, that's Alicia. That's John's friend, Lily. Electronics Tech '09 is Alicia's friend. And you also run three Facebook groups. Yeah, Lily, she um, is transgender. And I don't know, you never said, I believe you were born male. You didn't tell me your birth order. I was going to have my little um, observation on birth order and genetic. I'm just trying to find out genetics. But she had helped with the with that community. Oh, okay, that's fine. And sounds good. We'll do it that way. Um, yeah, and you guys are always welcome to keep things personal. That's fine. But you know, our brains are kind of well, they are damaged, but the neurons and the neurotransmitters aren't connecting. And we have to kind of rebuild them just like how a scab kind of comes together. We got to kind of bring it back in, give it chances to reconnect. That Mia says, ET09, please will you pass a message to John and tell him he is loved and missed. Yes, yeah, Mia was here. Mia was very prompt today. Um, but yeah, he definitely is a sweetheart, you know. And sometimes trauma brings us closer. Like Alicia, would we have met you if, John didn't go through the trauma and want to be available to this chat? And then you guys probably chatted a little bit about it, and you were thankfully compelled to come back. You've joined us a few times, which is really nice. So you weren't just, yeah, I use my computer. Lily says I was kind of sheltered in my family life. Like we didn't go a lot of places because my mom couldn't afford it, but I sure went places on my own and with friends. Like didn't go to the circus till I was like 25. And I just went kayaking. I'm 52 and a half. So, you know, yeah. and just do it, just do it. Reconnect with your childhood. It's fun. Mia says ET09. Thank you, much appreciated. And yeah, Alicia says John's having phone problems. And Leila says, I realize that sounds silly. It doesn't sound silly. What is up? I don't know if it's the hair chemicals or kindergarten or talking too much. But tomorrow, I have a feeling we're probably, I don't even know. I want to touch base with you guys tomorrow. I like giving you guys an idea of when I'll be on tomorrow. I might have to just do a cold login anywhere from 9 to 11 p.m. probably Eastern Standard Time. So John helped you move. So that's cool. I can see him helping. And he's a good friend, and I think well, you're definitely a good friend, letting him use your computer. Mia says, not at all, Lily. So yeah, I don't think so. That's cool. I would have gone with you. And do they still have like the tiger? Did they stop doing the tigers? And that was back when you were 25, but they stopped doing tigers, I think, because who is it? Sigmund? It's not Sigmund Freud. Leo and Sigmund, or Sigmund. Sigmund, and I can't remember, but got attacked by that tiger. Those two trainers, I think they were brothers. So Mia says to Alicia, that was very nice of John to help you. And logging on anywhere between 9 and 11 because I'm going bowling at 3 in South Bend. So I think that might go to like 5 or 6, and we're going to go out to eat. And it is her birthday. So it'll probably be like 8, 9, maybe 10 o'clock. I don't know if she's going to want to go out afterwards. I kind of don't think we are, but it's still like a 2-hour drive. So I don't even know what time I'll get back in. Yeah, so I might have to wing it. I'll try to log on. Yeah, I try to do Fridays and Saturdays for you guys. And then I could do an earlier one Sunday because I got to go back to school. So I was doing them during the week, but I started getting a little tired. So school breaks coming up. I should do some. I don't know what days are good for you guys during the week. I know a lot of you guys are West Coast, and you guys are probably either still at work by the time I need to go to bed, right around that time. But trying to do that for you guys as often as I can. Oh, you're East Coast. Well, no, yeah, you are. You are. Like Calibri's out West Coast. Yeah, I'm East Coast too. New York, yeah. But I know like Dog Defender, she's not here right now, but um does that sound good to you guys if we kind of play it by ear tomorrow? And then Sunday, are you guys available? Maybe, I don't know, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday? Because I'll probably want to go to bed at like 8 or 9. But I love having you guys. Maybe. Yeah, we'll just play it by ear. I try to log on. It's just the long drive, so we'll have to see. But guys, thanks so much for joining me. I'm going to log off so I can wake up early. But lots of love to you guys. And, just stay true to yourself. And I'll help you along the way. But utilize those numbers and the support groups, and feel free to let me know the things that you need help with. So that's how you learned the piano? By ear. Good for you. Did you really? That's talent. I learned the piano by being stubborn and forced to do it on the keyboard. East Coast for you too, Mia. Cool. So take care, Calibri says, and have a good weekend. So yes, you too, Calibri. And I hope you enjoyed your flowers. Be well. Lots of love to you guys. And I'll see you soon. Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.